What's going on, everyone? Alex Hart here. It's time for some Wake Up in Baseball. Monday's games, exciting, lots of fun. April 26th, let's get into it. 10 games, not too much before we go, but please go down there, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Now we're doing it. Let's go, right. First game of the day, Royals 3, Tigers 2. This was a somewhat matinee game. Overall, they're ending up their series. So the Royals finish and complete the sweep of the series Monday. So they're going to be switching over now. Kansas City pretty much won. Carlos Santana hits his 5th home run of the season. On the other side, Detroit didn't get any home runs, but Goodrum had a triple, which is pretty awesome, right? Pitchers Turnbull went 6 innings, 300 runs, 5 Ks. Keller 6 innings, 200 runs, 4 Ks. And then when they brought in, Kansas City brought in their closers, and they held the door, as you can see here. A lot of holds from Barlow, Holland, and Stalmont being their closer on the season so far. 2 saves. Have to keep an eye on that because I haven't been too familiar with that. Overall, Detroit, their bullpen as well got the door done. Matinee game, I honestly didn't watch it, so not too much for me to report on that one. Indians 5, Twins 3. This one was back and forth, and when the Twins blew the lead in the 6th inning and it became 2-2, I started getting nervous. I was like, the Twins, we know, have trouble scoring late runs. So far, that's kind of been a theme for them this season, and sure enough, it continued to be somewhat of a theme. They only got 1 run in the 8th. Before Ramirez hit a home run of his own, his 5th of the season. And then in the 10th, Luplow hits his 6th of the season. It's a 2-run hot shot. And Cleveland wins this game in extra innings. I think Minnesota, if I remember, we said like a week ago that they were like not winning in extras. And this continues to be the case. I don't remember them having a win yet in extras, so it could be like 0-5 at this point. Rooker for the Twins hits his first home run of his career, I believe, which is awesome. Congratulations. Barrios went 5.2, 200 runs, 3 Ks, no decision, and Plesac 7.2. He earns 300 runs. He was cruising. They tried to push him through 8, and can you blame the Indians? They're really trying to catch up on their pitching right now. But that's where he fell apart, and they ended up giving up that 1 run that potentially would have been his loss, and then pulled him and moved on. Next up, Orioles 4, Yankees 2, and damn, the Yankees need these games. They need to be beating Orioles when they can. Matt Harvey picking up his 2nd win of the season, 1 earned run. He's bringing that ERA down. He's had a couple good starts. Garcia on the other side, 4 innings pitched, 200 runs. It's going to get the loss in this one. And the Yankees used up a bunch of their solid bullpen in this game because it was a close game, and they're hoping to come back, but they fell short. Hopefully they won't rely on some of these guys, at least tomorrow or the next game. Mullins, 2 home runs in this game, and he's up to 3. Was a big part of this. Cedric Mullins, 3 hits. He's batting .365. Pretty much the highlight reel on the Orioles right now. Other than that, Yankees, no home runs. And when the Yankees aren't hitting home runs, that's going to be an issue, right? Rogner Odor hitting in the cleanup spot. That's no offense to the guy, but the Yankees can do better than that. Moving on. A's 2, Rays 1. And Chaminade continues to be clutch for them. He's now got 3 wins on the season, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Rich Hill on the other side, 10 Ks, 2 earned runs. So this is probably Rich Hill's one of his best starts of the season. He still got 7.25 ERA, so that just goes to show what it's been like for him. Home runs, Sean Murphy hits his 2nd of the season, and it's all the runs for the A's. It was a 2-run shot, so not much more there. And the Rays only get the 1 run. Randy Arozarena, 3 hits. He's batting above 300, but the rest of the team is batting below 250. Every single player, pretty much, except Kiermaier, who was pinch hitting in, so he wasn't even in the game. The Rays offense has just been ice cold. If it wasn't for their pitching, they would be in a lot of trouble early on in this season. Next up, Braves 8, Cubs 7. Both these teams' offenses are alive and well. Pitching, we know, we talk about it every day, that it's not so much the case. Freddie Freeman hits a 3-run home run in this game. Atlanta was out to a quick 4-0 lead, and I was worried about whether the Cubs would be able to come back. I know their offense has been on fire, but, you got to have a little bit of worry. Bryant, however, comes in later in the game, hits a grand salami, and his 6th of the season. Contreras hits his 7th of the season as well. So the Cubs are starting to get the long ball going, which is really all they want. Swanson also hits his 2nd home run of the season in this one, so quite a bit of home runs, 4 home runs. Davies for the Cubs went 3.2, 5 earned runs. Not good. Morton, 5.1, 5 earned runs. So both these starting pitchers are continuing. I really thought Morton, I was watching Morton, might be able to get this down, but doesn't. The bullpen does come in down the stretch for the Braves and close the door. So that's good for the Braves. Overall, going to be a tight series. Both these teams are hoping to get something good, get a streak going. Right now, it's leaning Braves at this point, right? Next up, we have the Brewers and the Miami Marlins. Marlins 8, Brewers 0. A lot of focus in this game was on Burns, going for that no walk to start a season streak. It looks like it's still intact after today, but who knows how much that was playing a role in this game. He went 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. He was cruising along, and then he gets to the point where he starts giving up some soft contact. Is he trying too hard to make sure he doesn't get a walk? I'm not sure. On the other side, Trevor Rogers, 6 innings pitched, 7 Ks, no earned runs. This guy is off to a great start, 3-1. I was doing a little research on this guy, and I was never expected to be like some amazing guy out of their prospect pool. But again, it seems like one of those players that everyone always seems to discount along the way, and we know how those can sometimes turn out. Corey Dickerson hits his 1st of the season, and Cooper hits his 2nd, both late in the game. So the game is pretty much getting over. Milwaukee, no runs. Next up, Phillies 2, Cardinals 1, and this one was we'll just go right to it. It was a battle of the pitchers. Wainwright is 0-3. But in this game, he went the full complete game, 9 innings, 2 earned runs, and both those earned runs were home runs by Rhys Hoskins. So not a whole lot to report on the offensive side. Wheeler goes in 8 innings. He went the 1 earned run, a couple of walks. But Wheeler definitely throwing his name in the ring for Cy Young. He's at least trying to compete with DeGrom at this point. Neris goes in and gets his 4th save of the year, and I don't know how he got this 1 run got in the 9th. It was not an earned run, and there's no error, so I was trying to figure it out. I didn't have a chance to actually go back and watch that specific inning, but you would think there's got to be an error if there's no earned run, right? Maybe, I don't know. It's interesting though. Maybe I'll go back and look at that. Next up, Angels 9, Rangers 4, and if you saw this game, you were in for some excitement. Ohtani, this guy is a highlight reel on his own, and sure enough, Texas got to him really early. He was struggling with some control, giving up a lot of walks, gave up a 3-run bomb to Nate Lowe, his 6th of the season. But don't worry. In the 2nd inning, he came through clutch on his own, hit a nice bases clearing double, which gave him a couple RBIs. He just crushed the ball. Overall, Ohtani goes 5 innings, 9 Ks, and 4 earned runs. Ends up only being 2 walks, and they were both, I'm pretty sure, in that 1st inning. Settled down after that 1st inning. There was a lot of worry. Lyles on the other side went 2.27 earned runs. They kept him in for a while he was getting pounded on, so I was surprised for that. Justin Upton, 5th home run of the season. Iglesias hits his 2nd of the season. And I think one of the highlights of this game, Trout had a 4-hit night, and they weren't even talking about it hardly on the broadcast. B, Ohtani laid down a bunt that was hilarious because he led off the inning. No one was expecting it. He laid it down, got on base, and that created another run, which gave him some insurance. This guy's an all-star for sure. Astros 5, Mariners 2. Astros getting their team back. Altuve's back in the lineup. They've been waiting for him. 3 hits, 2 RBIs in this one. Alvarez, he was one of those guys that was out at 1.2, 3 hits. Gurriel, 3 hits. So their offense looks like they're all back. They're going to have their complete lineup now. So no more excuses are going to be coming from them. And sure enough, their offense is here, and they were pounding the ball. Lewis for the Mariners hits his first home run of the season. Kyle Seager, his 4th. And none for the Astros. The Astros just hits and generated runs in this rivalry here. Sheffield, 5.1, 4 earned runs. One of a weaker outing, nothing to write home about. And Urquidy, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, gets that quality start. Only a couple Ks, but he's never really been that strikeout pitcher for them. And then they close the door, and the Astros are now back to 500. Next up, Giants 12, Rockies 0. And this is funny because if you watch the power rankings, people are upset with how I've ranked the Giants. Straight out and said, sure, they're off to a good start. 15-8, amazing start. I have some questions about their offense. Oh, wait, look at that. They got 12 runs, and they addressing that. But now I have some questions about who they've been playing. They've played, this is their second now series against the Rockies. They've had 2 against the Marlins, and they've basically only played 1 team that's ahead of them in the power rankings. So until I see them be consistent against those teams too, I gotta hold judgment a little bit. But overall, 12 runs, they laid the smackdown. Buster Posey, it's his 5th of the season. Of course, the Rockies don't hit any. So we look at their pitching. San Francisco starters have been amazing. Desclafani, 9 innings pitched, 9 Ks, and I can't even say anything else. Gomber was a big part of that Arenado trade. 9 earned runs, so he got crushed. San Francisco, wow, congratulations. Next up, Reds 5, Dodgers 3. And Reds had this one, 3-1 going into the 7th, and they blew another bullpen lead. Looks like it went to Garrett again, actually, was the blown save. Interesting, but overall, they end up pulling it out in extra innings. Anton goes 3 innings pitched. Jansen gives up Winker home run in the 10th, Winker's 5th, and that was pretty much the game. Overall, there's a home run from Corey Seager, which was the one that Garrett gave up. That was a 2-run shot. And yeah, I don't know how much leash Garrett's going to have, considering how he's been going for them, or if they're going to keep putting him in those spots. But yeah, the Reds, they get a win. They get a win, and it's against the team that they need, that everyone's chasing, right? So that's really good for that. Let's jump into a quick injury report. Some interesting news on Byron Buxton last night. He was not in the lineup due to a patella tendonitis of his knee. It's apparently been an issue that he's been dealing with all season long so far. Baez was not in the lineup as well for the Cubs, which we know could be a big hit, giving the star shortstop just a day off. So David Price was added to the 10-day injured list for the Dodgers. I heard that last night on the broadcast as well. And if we're looking at the Giants, speaking of the Giants, Yastrzemski, Crawford, Cueto, all these guys. Several injury updates. Yastrzemski went MRI on the Monday morning, a very mild oblique strain. He's going to miss about a week, it looks like. Crawford not in the lineup for the 3rd consecutive night. Quad tightness. They expect him to be back really soon. Cueto, grade 1 lat strain. So he's starting to do bullpen sessions. So overall, nothing too serious for the Giants. MRI for Yelich's back has no news yet. Likely no structural damage. Club's medical experts can identify. Last played April 11th, so we're almost 2 weeks now. Hoping to get him back. Odorizzi, tightness, we talked about that yesterday. Freed took another step towards returning. Fielding drills on Monday, so they're in the Braves. They're looking next week against the Nationals. He'll be back. Perez playing his 1,000th game on Monday. He had to leave in the 6th inning. It looks to be a day-to-day kind of thing. Hopefully they don't miss Salvador Perez, right? Lots of things going on with the Rays. We got Troy going for right knee surgery. Who knows how long that could be, a while. Fairbanks scheduled to throw bullpen session, so he'll be back soon. Freddie Galvis came out of the game against the Yankees, so this is a lot of little people missing here. Third inning on Monday due to left abductor soreness. I don't even know exactly what the abductor is. He doubled, blah, blah, blah. No real news there. Mariners, Marjavicius goes on 10-day DL, and that was for shoulder inflammation. Sure enough, he got lit up in his last game. Tommy Pham, still not really sure. Molina is going to avoid the stint. We talked about that. And Lance Lynn will come back. And yeah, so that basically breaks down everything we got that happened yesterday, Monday. Wow, for a short day, seems like a somewhat long video, but thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next one.